So the first thing we're going to do is look at the components of the Miracle iQube. This main unit is the Miracle iQube. Here we have the player with the player holder, an audio splitter. This is that 3.5mm audio cable. Here we have charging cables. You can notice there's marked with green and red. This is the power splitter, speaker charging cable, power block, USB charging adapter for the speaker. Now moving into setup here, the first thing we're going to do is put our player in here. Notice there's a yellow dot on the player holder. When you get those close together, there's a magnet that'll just grab. And now we're just going to grab the audio splitter and we're going to plug that into the right side, the very bottom of the player here. It just fits in right there. And now if you look at these, you can see they're color coded. One's red and one's blue. We're going to connect the red one to the male end of the audio cable coming out of the front of the Miracle here. Just make sure those are nice and snug. And now we're going to connect the charging cable, which is also coming out of the front of the Miracle. And that will go into the bottom of the player right here in the center. Good, nice and snug. Now you can push these cables back inside there if you like, just for tidiness, for cable management. Not necessary, but I usually push that in just a little bit. Now we've got an extra audio splitter connection here. On the back, I want to see there's red and green. Red and green dots are going to align with these charging cables, which are marked with red and green. So these charging cables will go into the power strip here. Now this power strip has a reset and an off key. You want to be on reset. You'll see a little blue light when you have power running. So we've got power out of the wall. We're just going to connect these USB connectors into these color-coded slots. So I'll just go green to green and red to red. So the green end's going to go into the green end here on the right. The green cable runs the power for your player. Just make sure that's in there nice and snug. Now I'll do the red cable. Plug that into the red spot. The red cable runs the power for the amplifier. Just make sure that is connected. Good. Okay, I'll just turn this back around. Manage my cables a little bit here. Now the player is on. I'm going to just tap that. We're going to go to Files, Micro SD card. I'm going to select the Miracle AM folder for this and select the clearing track. If I swipe from right to left, I can see that it's playing and the numbers are counting. So if I look up top here, I now have red lights. So the last step, also if you look back in here, you have a little green light when your amplifier is powered. And on the front, there's a little blue light. It can be hard to see in this light, but you'll see a blue light for the player charging circuit. If you ever need to troubleshoot, you can turn out the lights and look for those lights. So the last thing I'm going to do is connect the speaker to this blue side of the audio splitter. Here's the triangle speaker. You can see on this end with the writing, there's a little flap right underneath this power key. You just lift that up and you're going to see a spot for two connections. One of them is going to be for the audio cable and one's for the charging cable. So we'll take this springy 3.5mm audio cable. I'm going to plug this L end into my splitter. And then the other end I'm going to plug right into the speaker. I like to use the straight end because it's a little bit easier. So it's this top spot. You have to pull that flap back up pretty far and then you can angle this audio cable into that spot. I'll angle this audio cable into that spot. There we go. Make sure that's nice and snug. Good. Now I'm just going to plug the charging adapter into my power strip. And then I'll plug the big end of my charging cable. I'll plug the little end in here into the speaker, just underneath the audio cable. This is USB-C, so it doesn't have a direction like the others. And I'll plug my big end into my USB spot here. Good. Now on your speaker, on this end with the power, there's a power key right here. If you press and hold that, your speaker is going to come on, or you can power it off. I powered it off, so now it's on. I'll get a solid blue light when my audio connections are in. If I press this plus, the volume will go up. If I press this minus, the volume will go down. That's an important thing. If you just start it up, it may be a little bit loud, so you may want to turn it down with that minus. You want to always turn the audio volume down on the speaker. Keep the player volume maxed, usually about 90-95%. That'll ensure the maximum volume goes through the Miracle iQube, and then you can adjust down the volume in the room through the speaker. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We'll be happy to help.